What if I told you the deadliest animal on Earth isn't a shark, a snake, or even some fanged jungle beast, but that tiny whining mosquito that ruins your sleep at 3 a.m.? That little buzz has been responsible for more human deaths throughout history than lions, tigers, and bears combined, which means that every time you grab a can of aerosol insecticide and unleash that dramatic PS, you're not just cleaning the room, you're basically taking revenge on one of humanity's oldest enemies. Sounds satisfying, right? But how does that magical spray actually work? And do insects really suffer in those final moments? Stick around, because the answer is both darker and funnier than you might expect. When you spray an aerosol, you're launching a microscopic army of chemicals into the air. These invisible droplets float around like assassins, land on the bug's exoskeleton, and crash through its nervous system like someone flipping the wrong breaker switch. Within seconds, the insect is done. No more buzzing, no more tiny vampire moves. It's like the ultimate ambush. Now, do they feel pain? Scientists will tell you their nervous systems are too simple for Shakespearean suffering. But come on, if you're happily mid-flight and suddenly your body decides to hit the self-destruct button. That's not exactly a great day. Still, if it happens to a mosquito, the deadliest killer in the animal kingdom, you can't help but feel the universe just evened the score a little. And here's a twist in the plot. Not everyone is equally tasty to mosquitoes. Some humans are buggers. Dreamed in is maybe you've noticed that your friend is a charming and apparently also a magnetic buffet for mosquitoes. Turns out there's real science behind it. Research suggests that blood type might play a role, with type O often attracting more bites than type A. Those studies don't all agree on the exact rankings. Even more convincing is the chemistry of your skin. A study in the journal Cell found that people who produce higher levels of carboxylic acids in their skin scent are basically walking neon signs for mosquitoes. And this trait stays remarkably consistent year after year. Genetics can also come into play when studies show that attraction to mosquitoes has a strong inherited component. But it doesn't stop there. Mosquitoes also zero in on carbon dioxide from your breath, your body heat, and even the lactic acid in your sweat. Pregnant women tend to get bitten more often. And if you've had a couple of beers, congratulations, you've just made yourself even tastier to them. Your friend might not be more lovable, but to a mosquito, they smell like a 5-star buffet. Of course, not every battle ends with a bug body count. Sometimes we go diplomatic with repellents. These lotions and sprays, things like DEET or don't kill insects at all day, just make us invisible, or worse, unappetizing to a mosquito. You go from being a 5-star buffet to a stale cracker. The bug gets confused, circles a bit, and then moves on to bother someone else. No tragedy, no bug ghost haunting your lamp, just a frustrated little vampire buzzing off into the night. But long before we had chemical labs and pressurized cans, humans found natural ways to keep the swarms at bay. Tribes living deep in forests or swamps learned that mud was basically nature's insect armor. Smear it on, and mosquitoes couldn't smell or bite through it. Others went for animal fattiest, actual grease smeared on the skin. It stank, but it worked, and the bugs hated it even more than your neighbors probably did. Smoke was another genius move. By burning plants like cedar, sage, or sweetgrass, people built an invisible barrier that insects couldn't handle. In fact, sweetgrass oils are still shown to repel mosquitoes almost as well as some modern repellents. And then there were plant juices basal, niamalo smeared directly on the skin to mask your scent. In tropical regions, burning coconut husks filled the air with smoke thick enough to send even the bravest mosquito packing. So whether it's the high-tech hiss of a can or the old-school trick of mud and smoke, humanity has always been locked in this tiny but epic war. Do insects suffer when we strike back? Maybe, maybe not. But when the target is the mosquito, world's tiniest serial killer, maybe watching it crash? Midair feels less like cruelty and more like justice. And if you've made it this far, you're now officially armed with enough bug-busting trivia to outsmart any mosquito. Or at least impress someone at your next barbecue. Oh, and before the next mosquito finds you, hit that subscribe button.